Sarah always believed she lived alone. After 3 quiet years in her apartment, she'd memorized every sound the building made: pipes hissing, radiators ticking, the occasional footsteps in the hallway. Nothing ever changed. Nothing ever felt threatening. Until the day she opened a dusty cardboard box left behind by the previous tenant and found something that should not have existed. Inside the box was an old digital camera, dead battery, cheap plastic, something nobody would think twice about. But the memory card was still inside. Sarah charged the camera, powered it on, and froze. There were only 3 photos. The first was her own living room, shot from the floor, like someone had slid the camera in unnoticed and snapped a picture. The second was her bedroom window, taken from outside at night. But the third photo made her sit down, legs trembling so hard she nearly collapsed. It was a picture of her, asleep, in her bed, taken a few months ago, inside the apartment where she lived completely alone. That was the moment her life ended, and something else began. If this story already has your heart racing, hit that subscribe button, because what happens next will take this into a place you will not expect. Her pulse hammered as she zoomed into the photo. That's when she saw it, a faint reflection in the bedroom mirror, the shape of a man, standing in the doorway behind her, watching her sleep. His face blurred, but his posture unmistakable, patient, deliberate, familiar in a way she couldn't explain. Sarah dropped the camera and staggered back. She checked the windows, the locks, under the bed, the closet, anything to convince herself she was imagining it. But nothing eased the feeling that someone had been inside her apartment while she slept. She called the building manager, pretending to ask about old tenants. His voice tightened when she mentioned the previous occupant. Mrs. Chen? She was transferred to a care facility. Poor woman. Started hearing things, scratching in the walls, thought someone was inside her apartment. He laughed softly. Old age paranoia. Happens. Sarah didn't laugh, because now she heard it too. That night, every sound in the apartment felt sharper, closer, wrong. As she lay awake on the couch, staring at the front door, she kept hearing faint tapping, 3 slow taps, pause, then 3 more, coming from inside the walls. By morning, she no longer doubted Mrs. Chen. She tore through public records, old blueprints, renovation documents, anything that could prove someone was inside her walls. And she found something horrifying buried in a blueprint from 1987. A maintenance crawlspace connecting several apartments, sealed off 20 years ago but never fully removed. According to the cross-section, the hatch was directly behind her bedroom closet. That evening, her heart racing, Sarah pushed her clothes aside and pressed her ear against the back wall. Silence. Then, the faintest sound of fabric dragging across wood. Something or someone was moving back there. She traced her fingers along the baseboard and felt it shift. A seam, a cut, a hidden panel. Someone had gone in and out of that crawlspace recently. Her entire body went cold. How many nights had he been just inches away, separated only by drywall? Her phone buzzed, a text from her best friend asking if she wanted to grab dinner. Sarah typed back, "Rain check. I'll explain later." She couldn't leave. Not now. Not until she understood exactly what she was dealing with. If you've ever lived alone, imagine realizing you weren't. Comment below. Would you stay or run? Late that night, the scratching returned, but this time it came from the ceiling. Slow, deliberate steps moved above her, crossing her bedroom, then stopping directly over her closet. A heavy thud followed, like someone dropping into the crawlspace. Sarah ran to the closet, yanked the door open, and aimed her flashlight. Fresh plaster dust littered the floor, and carved into the drywall in jagged, uneven letters were 4 words that made her blood freeze. Not yet. This is only the beginning. She called the police. 2 officers arrived, checked the unit, shrugged, and told her there was no evidence of forced entry. One even suggested stress. Another said maybe the hole had been there for years. They left, and Sarah was alone again. Hours later, unable to sleep, she noticed her full-length mirror was crooked. When she reached to straighten it, she saw a tiny, perfectly round hole behind it, no bigger than a pencil tip, drilled straight through the drywall. A viewing hole, a camera hole, a spy hole. Her phone buzzed, unknown number. You weren't supposed to find that yet. Her entire body stopped working, every muscle locked. She backed away from the wall, shaking uncontrollably. Then the tapping began again. 3 taps, pause. 3 taps. Then a whisper, leaking through the drywall. I know you can hear me. Sarah realized she needed answers, and the only person who could give them to her was the one who had lived this nightmare before her, Mrs. Chen's daughter. She reviewed security footage by breaking into the manager's office. She found a man entering her apartment at 2:47 a.m. using a key. A man who later returned completely casually, walking past the lobby camera like he worked there. He did. Hours of digging revealed the truth. Marcus Webb, maintenance staff, former employee at multiple buildings with similar complaints. Women reported feeling watched. Belongings moved, cameras appearing and disappearing, hidden crawl spaces, plaster dust, footsteps, the same pattern. Every time. He was always the common link. Sarah called Lisa Chen. Lisa confirmed everything. Her mother had heard footsteps scratching, doors opening at night. The police dismissed her. The manager lied. She fled the building in terror, and months later she died of a heart attack, but Lisa knew better. Before dying, Mrs. Chen wrote a journal. In the final, unfinished entry she wrote, "I know who he is, his name is..." The page ended there. Blank. Torn. Interrupted. Lisa sent Sarah all the journal photos. Every detail matched what Sarah was going through. The same noises, the same movements, the same terror. As Sarah read the journal, the scratching behind her bedroom walls stopped. Silence fell. A heavy silence that felt alive. Then she heard breathing from inside her closet. Her light flickered. Once, twice. Darkness swallowed the room. The closet door creaked open. If you're still here, hit subscribe, because from this point forward, the story shifts into a people will not be prepared for. Sarah didn't sleep that night. She didn't move. She waited until sunrise, then waited longer. She needed proof. She needed something undeniable, something the police couldn't ignore, something that exposed him completely. That's when the email arrived, a video file taken from inside her bedroom at 3:47 a.m., the night before, night vision camera. Sarah asleep, peaceful, until a silhouette entered the frame, a man with a thin build moving slowly toward her bed. He stood over her, watching her sleep. Then he reached down and touched her hair. Sarah dropped the phone and sobbed. He had been inside her apartment many times. He texted, "Want to see Monday or Tuesday? I have hours of this, Sarah." She wiped her tears. Something hardened inside her. Fear shifted into fury. She wasn't running, not like Mrs. Chen. She would end this. She confronted him, texted him, challenged him to meet face to face. And he agreed. Midnight. Her apartment. No police, no recordings, just her and him. She pretended to obey, pretended to panic, pretended to be helpless. While planning the opposite, while the shower ran loudly, she slipped into the crawl space. 15 feet inside, she found the control center. His monitor showing every hidden camera feed, even another victim he was stalking in another building. She photographed everything until she heard someone crawling toward her. Marcus. Laughing softly, she escaped the crawl space by seconds, blocked the panel with furniture, and waited for midnight. When Marcus arrived, the trap triggered. Hidden behind the furniture was Sarah's phone, on live stream, broadcasting everything to the police station she had called anonymously earlier. Every word he said, every threat, every move. When he realized he'd been tricked, he lunged. Sarah ran. Police sirens wailed. Officers burst in through the door. Marcus tried to escape into the walls like he always had, but this time they were waiting. Thermal cameras, K9 units, SWAT. He was dragged out of the crawl space, screaming Sarah's name like they shared something intimate. It was over, or so she thought. Sarah moved out immediately. Weeks passed, a new apartment, new locks, new furniture, fresh paint, a fresh start. Then one night, her phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number, a single photo, her new bedroom window, taken from outside, last night, at 3:47 a.m. Her breath stopped. Then another message arrived, "You're fascinating too." The screen went black. If you want more stories like this, subscribe and hit that bell icon, because the next one is already being written.